That's recording.
Yeah.
That's recording.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I've been ready. Yeah.
Let's begin. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Bitcade. This is This is episode
14?
15. This is episode 15
Wow.
of the Bitcade show. This is the official video game podcast of Primal Target because we only have one so far for now. Stay tuned. Anyway, my name is.
I'm out of a job. Is that what that's
No,
about?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. This will always exist. Hopefully, Bitcade will always exist. But there might be spiritual successors, brothers and sisters that might be arriving soon. So it's the family gathering, but you've only seen like the brother, and we're about to see the sister coming soon. Anyway, so my name is Ryan Emor. This is,
I am David.
and yeah. This is the Bitcade crew. We're back to 2 people. Riley
Yeah.
was not allowed back. It just didn't work out.
Mm-mm.
I don't think we had a good time last time.
We just couldn't stand that sass.
Yeah, exactly. There's only enough that you can take for a while, and then it's just, man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll let him back.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
see.
one of these days. With all seriousness, it was a good episode, so go check it out.
Yeah,
14.
yeah. Riley was fantastic.
But we've got a few topics today to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
We're going to talk about remastered games. We're going to talk about surprised sleeper games, and we're talking about our Q1 recap because as of recording this, it's March, but by the time this is all said and done, it'll probably be beginning of April. But either way, the quarter will be wrapped up, all said and done. It's been a good 2018, but we'll get to that
So
later.
far, yeah.
Yeah. So for the first topic, remastered. This is your topic.
And remake.
And remade. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we talking about
So-
in this part?
So, as I'm sure you are aware of the company, and I'm sure some of our viewers are aware, there is a company out there who goes by the name of Bluehole.
Yes, they do.
They do pretty much their repertoire has pretty much been remakes and remasters. What this topic is all
They
about.
make games look pretty.
Yeah, they make games look pretty for the next like generation. Recently, they just released Shadow of Colossus, which is the first game that they made from the ground up using assets that they created, I believe, from scratch. I believe it's the first one that they've done where they haven't used anything from the previous game. I
okay.
think I could be wrong.
Did they do the Uncharted games too?
They did the Uncharted, but that
Yeah.
was just a remaster. It's just like an 8 performance boost.
Yeah, like skin change.
Yeah,
like, it looks
higher
better.
resolution.
Yeah.
They also did just a quick recap for them. They did Gravity Rush
Okay.
from the PSP to the PS4. They did the Uncharted
Vita.
Oh, sorry, Vita. Yeah. It's a fun game.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no, I
playing
had
through
it
right
on
now.
Vita.
I'm playing through it right now.
Oh,
and
you're playing the other version.
I'm playing the one on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
My only issue with it is like you could tell it's a handheld game. So there's a few. Yeah, big guy wants some attention. But it's one of those things where it's like you can tell it's a game made for a handheld, but other than that, it's not bad. The story is it doesn't have like enough meat for like a console game, but I'm still enjoying it anyways.
Yeah, that's fine.
Back to the topic. Gravity Rush. They did The Last of Us remaster. Nathan Drake collection. They did the PlayStation 3 Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
So they've been mainly hanging around with PlayStation.
They primarily do PlayStation, yeah. Well, there was this big hoopla with them after after Shadow of Colossus because they did a big hire basically. So people are thinking, oh, they're gonna start doing their own thing, which they totally could. But it turns out, as they just revealed, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, they're doing another from the ground remake like Shadow of Colossus.
Okay. Oh, so there's no game that they've announced.
They haven't announced
yet.
the game, no.
Okay,
but the rumors are. So I'm just putting this out for as I'm just saying this again. This is just
As
rumors.
of March 2018,
Yeah,
these are the rumors.
These are rumors, speculations. As of right now, people are rumoring that they're gonna do a complete remake of Metal Gear Solid, the PlayStation 1 Metal Gear Solid.
Interesting.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's a good choice, and it would be one I'm all down with. Here's the problem that I have with it. It's a Konami game.
Yeah.
Konami's not the
people you want to be in bed with right now.
Exactly. And I don't know, like it just I don't but for what I think Blue Point can do better than dealing with Konami.
Yeah.
Did
you mention Bluehole in the beginning of the game?
What did I say? Bluehole?
Yeah, because Bluehole's the PUBG guys.
Right, Bluehole's PUBG.
Yeah, I've just realized that because when you said Blue Point, I was like,
it's Blue Point.
Wait, I knew who you were talking about. Yeah, and their logos look almost exactly the same. Like, I mean, when you think of it in your mind, you're like, oh, what is Blue Point? And Blue Point's the one that has the last P, or the point looks like a blue crescent or like
something like that.
So
yes, Blue Point.
Blue Hole is the PUBG team.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably people.
Yeah, there's already people in the comment section below right now, but it's okay.
We figured it out. Get to.
So delete the comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say get to minute 6 and you'll see we figured it out. Right? So they're thinking that Blue Point's gonna go in and from the ground remake Metal Gear Solid, which I think is a fine choice. The only problem is, again, you're getting in bed with Konami, and that's not the company, really, in my opinion, especially with the release of Metal Gear Survive and all the other stuff that they've done. I don't think it's a good choice. Yeah, because I don't think anybody really wants to support Konami right now.
I mean, people didn't even buy the latest one because it
Metal Gear Survive.
No, not that one.
Phantom Pain.
Yeah, because even though it was still Kojima, they didn't want to buy it because of Konami.
Yeah. Yeah, there really, honestly, other than the engine, there isn't really any Kojima in the game, to be honest with you. As somebody who's played through most of it, I never even finished it. I lost interest maybe halfway through.
That explains why it was like $8 when I bought it.
Yeah, I bought it for like 15 or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. Like the game's engine and stuff is fantastic, but like the story is and the way it's set up as like episodes, I didn't.
Oh, they did that. Okay.
Well, yeah, it kind of ruined the narrative because there was each episode when you start a mission, it starts out and there's an intro credits, and you can see it's like, oh, I'm gonna face Metal Gear in this episode because it says Metal Gear in the opening credits.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh look, this is finally the episode where I find Otacon because it says Otacon's voice actor parentheses Otacon before you even start the mission. Like it takes out.
Oh, they pull the credits in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do like an opening credit scene for each mission, and it
so they Mission Impossible
spoils
you.
It.
They Mission Impossible you.
Basically,
because like for those that have never watched Mission Impossible, if you watch the beginning part of Mission Impossible, they show you everything that's gonna happen in the movie.
Yeah.
The whole intro part is literally the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then then you watch it, and then I'm like that. That's one of the movies that I'll skip the intro because I'm like, nope, I don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. Fast forward.
Yeah, and for me, part of what I love about Metal Gear series is you never know what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You never know how the story's gonna go, and with these credits, you can figure it out just by seeing what characters you're gonna encounter.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I never finished that game, and I personally hope it's not Metal Gear. If it was my choice. I know I'm probably wishing a lot here. I would like to see them remake Demon Souls.
That would be good. That's Atlas. It's Atlas at that point.
I know.
Then you'd have to, even though PlayStation company still, but there would be like three companies that they'd have to go.
Right. Just like I mean, it wouldn't be all that far or different from Shadow of Colossus because.
So wait, before we go into this.
Yes.
You were. Like when we were writing this topic down, one of the things that you wanted to go was, how do we feel about the remakes? So do you want to answer that question before you go into? Obviously, we kind of know what you're getting at, but So remakes, yay or nay? Remakes, remastered, yay or nay?
I think so. Yes, I think remasters and remakes are good if the core structure of the game stays the same.
Okay.
I have a couple examples of like good ones and some bad ones,
Okay.
things like that. But just I guess I did get a little off the topic because
No, it was good.
I'm excited to see like what they're gonna do. Um,
But yes, you were talking about Demon Souls would be one of those games
I
that you
think
would love to see on PlayStation 4.
yeah, because I don't think Demon Souls uh got the uh uh the limelight that I think it should have. It still is probably one of like uh, it's probably I think the Souls game that people have played the least number of people have played just
Yeah,
because
because
it's a Sony exclusive.
yeah, and that it was when no one really knew what they were doing over there. I mean, not
Yeah, I mean
over there.
it was
we didn't know what they were doing.
right.
Kind of thing.
The game was new, and I
Yeah.
think now would be a perfect time
Especially since it's all
to
hype
bring
right
that
now.
back.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best game to bring back right now, especially for this generation. Even though it would still probably be a Sony exclusive, so many people know about the Soul series.
Yeah,
that
but it's
I
I think no one would complain if it was
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive though.
Yeah, I mean that nobody did. Yeah, like nobody. Yeah, I don't think anybody.
Especially
would,
if they're the ones working on it.
yeah,
Because they'd be like, okay, that's understandable. It's all PlayStation companies coming together, like Atlas coming in,
Mhm.
even though they're not exclusive of PlayStation, they're very much with them.
Mhm.
Because like they're definitely not with Xbox.
They do some stuff with Nintendo.
Yeah,
now and
yeah.
then and stuff like that.
They're it's mainly the Japanese companies stick together because I mean they're a Japanese company. So
But I'm excited to see when they finally announce what it is. If they say it's Metal Gear Solid, like the rumors say, I mean, cool.
yeah.
But I would love to see something else.
So since you brought up Blue Point,
Yeah.
I would love to see them make a God of War recreation.
See, I think that would be awesome too.
Because like I was as somebody that so my thing is I definitely I do like the remakes remasters. Same thing with you though. If things start to feel different, then it's like, okay, this is not the same. This is not the same thing. But if it's like literally just here's this, it looks prettier.
Mhm.
Then I'm like, all right, I'm fine with that
Yeah.
because when you think in your mind like, oh, this game looks for example, even if we date back to just The Last of Us. Playing The Last of Us on PlayStation 3, I was like, this is a little fuzzy. Like
Mhm.
this is a little not
grainy.
too great. Yeah, like cuz I have both the 4K consoles, so it's when I'm going from those and then all of a sudden I drop back to the 360 and the
PS3.
and the PS3, it's like and even what I really noticed it in was Batman Arkham Asylum. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I remember this game looking really good, like
Mhm.
HD, like that was what it was. Everyone was ripped out of their mind.
720,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and no, 3D. It says on the box
Ooh.
you can play it in 3D. But like, yeah, I went back and tried to play that, and I'm like, yikes, this
Mhm.
did not hold up at all.
You see that resolution.
Yeah.
You see that those nice jagged looking arms,
Yeah.
right?
But yeah, I would love to see the Blue Point make a God of War recreation because the only like HD version of God of War is the PlayStation 3 remake, and you can play that game on the Vita. And it's like I don't want to. I want to, and God of War 1 and 2 are PlayStation 2 games. So when they got ported to the PlayStation 3, they're on one disc.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. I want like a little bit more of the because that game I remember looked great, but I know if I go back,
Mhm.
it's not gonna look great.
Yeah.
Give me my trophies for God of War. I want them on PS4 now.
But yeah, I just thought Blue Point. I think for this particular generation, this console cycle really stands out as like the pinnacle. Like this is who you should look up to when it comes to doing your remakes and remasters. Unlike this other particular company called Square Enix,
Ooh,
that
shots fired.
apparently right now is in all kinds of trouble with Final Fantasy VII remake. Like,
yeah, I just saw the news a couple days ago, actually.
yeah, something about how they're early. Yeah, first of all, I knew when they announced it that I knew it was not going to be the same game. I just knew it wasn't going to be just like a nice, prettier version of 7. I knew Square Enix was going to do something different, and it's going to probably be for the worse. And I don't know, like, if I recall right, they're having to hire like a ton of people because the game, even though they have like those screenshots and they showed in those videos, it still isn't in a playable state at this point. They've been working on it for years.
Yeah. I think Final Fantasy VII was like announced like 4 years ago at
Something
this
like
point.
that, yeah. And the fact, like when they announced it, I was like, ooh, no, no. I remember for decades they would say that they would, almost 2 decades they were saying, oh, we'll never remaster it, we'll never remake it for like 15 years. And then when they do, and I'm like, oh, they caved.
Yeah.
And then they said it's gonna be episodic, and I'm like, no, like that's not
Yeah,
Final
I
Fantasy.
wouldn't even see
Is
the
it gonna look
necessary
good?
need to even do that.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, like, is it
that's
gonna look good? Yeah. Is it gonna play like Final Fantasy VII? No.
no, immediately not. It's gonna
probably
look
gonna play
different.
like Final Fantasy 15.
Mm,
That's what I'm assuming.
Did
And
you
I'm
play 15?
not yet. I
Oh,
have
okay.
it. I haven't played it yet, so I'm
Okay.
not gonna bag on the mechanics or anything for a game that I haven't played yet.
Okay.
So,
Because I heard that people that
I've heard
mechanically
people,
love
yeah,
15.
yeah, that's what I've heard too. But I
Yeah.
personally have no
Yeah,
experience. And then another remaster I can think of that didn't turn out so well was the Halo remaster.
You didn't like the Master Chief Collection?
Well,
Oh,
I
the
haven't played
360
it.
version or
No,
like the one version?
The one on the Xbox One. From what
Okay.
I've heard,
Okay.
didn't pan. Again, I haven't played it, but from what I heard is it didn't pan out so well, and they haven't really patched it yet. I think they've just said that they're gonna finally go back and start patching it like now, even though the game's been out for like almost 2 years. Like apparently the game, like the online multiplayer, is in like an unplayable state.
Halo?
Yeah, of the Halo, not Halo 5, but like
Yeah.
the matches. Apparently the online state. Again, I haven't played it,
Okay.
but from what I've heard, the online state of Halo Master Chief Collection is just broken.
Okay.
And it's been broken.
Yeah,
because
like when I was, because when I got the Master Chief Collection, I went back and played Halo, and the game looks great,
Right.
but I didn't play multiplayer because
Yeah.
I'm not. Again, that's not like my priority.
Right.
Is I knew what was gonna be pretty,
Mhm.
and so I played Halo, and then I got to take a look at Halo 2,
Mhm.
which is my favorite Halo game. Yeah, that'd be my favorite Halo game. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just played the story.
Yeah.
I mean, the campaign looks fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I guess I may have like blocked that part out of the multiplayer situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I've heard. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But then we also have possibly because the Crash Insane Trilogy did so good.
Mm-hmm.
Rumors have it that now Activision's going to redo Spyro.
Yeah. How are they gonna? Well, I guess they still own the property because they do Skylanders with it. But
Yeah.
that'd be definitely interesting to see like Spyro being from Skylanders now and getting its port to back its original state when they've already for like the last 6 years have been marketing him as this like kiddie thing, and then now we're going back to old Spyro, which is the better Spyro. That's just the better Spyro. That's the only Spyro. Make Spyro better again.
Yeah, make Spyro again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently though that's their next step. Activision's next step is they're gonna
Yeah,
do
I've
the
heard
first
rumor,
3
yeah.
Spyro games, which I think is good.
Yeah.
If they do
3D
it like
platforming. I mean, that's something.
It's not as big as it used to be.
No.
But the thing is everybody, at least my age, I don't know about you, has that like those are like our childhood games.
Yeah, I didn't play Spyro or Crash at the time just because, even though I had a PlayStation 2, like I just
they were
didn't. I mean, PlayStation 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad had a PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
I had the PlayStation 2.
I was gonna say like that was like a generation behind.
Yeah. But still, that's exactly what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Was like it just wasn't. Those were not the games I was playing,
Right.
and that was where it just never really like the games. Man, what was I playing it for PlayStation 2? Lots of games. I remember getting like lots of PlayStation 2 games, games that it was kind of like my 64. But then again, the PlayStation 2, like every game came out for the PS2, so you were getting. I was getting games left and right, but with the PS or like. Yeah, that's how I kind of treated that console was exactly how I did 64. My parents did, I guess, was, my 64 growing up was the Mario 64 was my main license game, but then I got Pokemon Stadium. I got Diddy Kong Racing, and I got Hey You Pikachu, and like those were my 4 games I constantly kept playing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't really think about the PS2 games that I I had. Even the PlayStation 1 stuff, like, but those are mainly my dad's collection.
Yeah,
So
because I was like a teenager during the PlayStation 1 and the 64 era. So like I remember those games like very vividly.
Mm.
Like I had a Super Nintendo when I was little.
Mhm.
And so like I remember the Super Nintendo really well, but I didn't really like get into gaming until the 64 era. And then with the NES, like we had one, but that was back when it was just like for me, I rarely played it.
Ah.
So
Speaking of Rare, they did Rare Replay.
I know I have
So
Rare Replay.
how
And it's
how do you
it's
feel about?
amazing. It's awesome.
So that's when a company makes it themselves.
Yeah.
And would you prefer that the company make it themselves, or do you not mind the
I don't
whole third
mind.
party?
I don't mind the third party as long as again they stay true to because with Rare Replay, in particular, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot because I have actually a lot of experience with Rare Replay because I grew like I said I was a 64 kid. I played like pretty much all of their 64 titles. Plus, there's more like older titles.
Yeah,
And stuff
very
like that
very
on
old.
there. But like Jet Force Gemini, man, that game on the 64 played completely wonky
Mhm.
with the controls. Like C up was to run for like the left stick. You basically okay. Think of the C buttons as an analog stick, like a dual analog stick.
Okay.
Except you think so. Think of a dual analog stick today,
Yeah.
but reversed. So
That was how
the
Casper on PS2 was. It was reversed movement
yeah.
and camera. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like that
so
at
it was
all.
like the left, so your main stick in the middle was like aiming, looking up and down and turning,
Nope.
and then the C up was run and C down was go backwards, and strafe was C left and C right.
Yeah.
You get used to it because like Rainbow Six was the same way, and I used to play the crap out of Rainbow Six. Like you get used to it, but the nice thing about Rare Replay is they change up the controllers, all of the controllers for the 64 titles, like Perfect Dark and all that, to work with dual analogs, like now what would be considered traditional analog, where like I'm looking with this one and I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
with
yeah.
that one.
That was
So,
when everyone was still trying to figure out, can we do 2?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I think as long as you stay true to the original, you don't change anything. If you want to add features like like Blue Point, I almost said whole Blue Point, they add like the camera mode, which is a neat little thing.
mhm. Well, I mean,
But
even with I wrote down over like LA Noire,
uh-huh.
when it got its remake. First off, the game looks great as 4K,
Mhm.
whatever console you're playing on. But the cool thing is switching over to the Switch.
Ooh.
They like you said, adding features, and this is when I was like, Rockstar will take their time to
Mhm.
make something great. They're not gonna half-ass it. They're like, nope. If we're gonna put it on the Switch, it's gonna be good.
Mhm.
And they added the whole feature of like 80% of the game you can do by touching it. And
That's
I'm like,
cool.
that is awesome because that is something that you can't do on any console. That makes it a reason
Mhm.
to play it on the Switch, PS4 and Xbox One.
Or just
They're
they
the
just
same.
look better.
Yeah, they're exactly the same compared to each other, except I guess the resolution technically is better on the Xbox One version because if you have an X, it's 4K.
Mhm.
PS4, it's only like
It's upscaled.
1440p or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's upscaled.
Yeah, but even though they advertise it as 4K, but
Right.
yeah, those are like the examples of add stuff. Don't take stuff away and replace it with another thing.
Yeah.
Like
Don't
make it.
change the game.
Yeah,
Just,
if you want to
just
add some
something
cool
fun, yeah.
thing, yeah, because like you said, or with the Switch stuff, you didn't have to do the you didn't.
Sorry if that's getting picked up.
It is.
I'm sure the people know what that is
Yeah.
by now.
Longtime fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Switch version, you don't have to touch the screen. You can play it like normal.
Mhm.
But with those things, it adds to that part.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like Bethesda with the Skyrim. Sure, you can get Skyrim, the remaster on PC for free if you already have owned it or the Xbox One. But if you get it on the Switch, you get basic motion controls,
Yeah, which is new.
and you can get in Link's outfit if you have amiibos.
Mm-hmm.
It has amiibo support, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't really change. It doesn't change anything. It just adds to it, which I think was good on their part. No mod support, but I mean, it's Nintendo, so.
And I did have special shout out to Gears of War HD collection now, or the HD remaster. That looks really good
because that's just the first game, right?
Yeah,
the
it's the first one. Nothing really too much to go into, but like, yeah, it's looks like they took their time to make it, and it looks great.
Did a third party make that one? Redo it?
Yeah, Microsoft usually has a third party to make their remasters. Like 343 didn't even do, except for when they say they are. So like the Master Chief Collection, they didn't, or no, the cutscenes they don't do. It's another party, and for the life of me, I know it's someone they use a lot, but I can't remember what it is at the moment. But yeah, they do like all the cutscenes, and you can tell like, holy crap, like that looks really good. Like it looks like a full-fledged movie. Like that's one of those games, kind of like Final Fantasy. When you watch a cutscene, you're like, whoa, like this is like a sci-fi movie. Like this is like full-fledged cutscene. Gears of War just looks all around gorgeous. At 60 frames a second on an Xbox One. I didn't get it ever played on my X, but it definitely definitely looked great on the just regular Xbox One. So yeah, I don't know, any last minute words for your topic?
No, not that I can think of. I think we pretty much covered it, and I just feel like as long as they keep like the soul of the game, what it's supposed to be, and don't Square Enix it up, then yeah, I think right now Square Enix is the perfect example of what not to do, and Blue Point is the perfect.
They're
example.
overthinking it. You don't need to overthink it.
Yeah, and Blue Point is the perfect example of what to do. So I'm excited to hear what their next game is going to be. I really hope it's the Demon's Souls. I doubt it, but I think that's a game that deserves their touch versus a Metal Gear, because they've already done Metal Gear HD Collection. They did it for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Is it going to be like?
Well, they did.
Are they going to do exactly what they did with Gears of War, or not Gears of War, God of War, where there's already a collection of it. We're moving on.
Well, the thing is, no, because what I heard is because they did a Metal Gear Solid HD collection of Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty, and Snake Eater.
It's on the Vita as well.
Yeah, they just up the graphics, and then what they're doing with this next one is a complete from the ground up remake, like they do with Shadow Colossus for only the first Metal Gear Solid game. And I don't know how that would work, because one, I think the biggest issue for me is I don't think they'll be able to get the voice actors for it. I don't think David Hayter wants to come back and do Snake,
especially with that company.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Unless they're going to use the old audio, which they could, I guess. But I mean, why?
That's what they did with LA Noire. They used the old audio. Yeah. Sometimes the audio sounds like they're recording them in a bathroom, but
but that's my I hope that the rumors aren't true. I hope it's not Metal Gear Solid. I think there's other games out there that deserve better.
God of War.
And God of War, Demon's Souls.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Especially that deserve the limelight over Konami.
Alrighty.
Check.
We're moving on.